I love your hat. I wish more people wore hats.
Right?
You know?
Me too. It's also just very useful for keeping the sun off of your face.
Yeah. Especially here in...
I mean, who'd think? So how do you want to do this? Are we looking at you or are we looking
Look at me.
Okay. And are you part of the interview?
No, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm producer. Wendy Jewell, your mom as well. This is the main subject.
You're good.
Okay.
I'm Liz. This is Marcus. We're with That Nerd Show. And we're here at EarthX 2019. Had to remember, what year are we in?
None of us remember.
So, congratulations. I mean, this is like a huge deal because this festival, especially the film part, is so unique. You don't see this in any part, even in the world.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be here tonight?
It feels amazing. I mean, the film itself, Youth Unstoppable, was a 10-year journey. So to be able to finally, get to the point of actually screening at festivals is amazing. But EarthX Film Festival is just, it's so exciting to be somewhere like Dallas and being in such an enormous festival, and like people are really excited and there's a cool vibe here, and I'm really stoked to be screening here.
So tell me about the film, and you said it was a 10-year journey.
Yeah.
Tell me about like what was that journey?
Well, I started making this documentary when I was 15. I had gone through some various experiences being a youth delegate at environmental conferences with the UN, and I was very frustrated with the way that young people were being treated, and that the voice of the next generation, the voice of young people who are inheriting this planet and inheriting all of the collective messes, were not being taken seriously or even listened to. And so being a 15-year-old and being very angry, I was like, well, I can make movies. I love movies. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to capture the voice of the people of my generation. And that's when I started really, going to UN climate change conferences. That's when I met people like Kyle, young people who are dedicated and like going and showing up and being at the table and making sure that, we get the kind of world that we deserve, but also that we need in order to survive.
So it took 10 years. When did you say, okay, it's ready?
There were a couple of, are we ready? In 2015, we wondered, is the film done? We went to COP21 in Paris. The Paris climate deal was signed. It felt like it was this moment, the first time in over 20 years that, leaders around the world came to a decision and decided that we need to do something about climate change. So went into the editing process, and then of course, Donald Trump was elected, and the entire playing field changed, and so we decided we had to go back in. And now we're actually recutting the film to showcase and show how the youth climate movement has really grown and come into its own with people like Greta, with people like the climate strikers who are saying we need action now.
And so when did you come into the project?
Yeah, so I was running a youth climate organization called Sustain Us, and Slater was at the Copenhagen climate negotiations and I saw this, young girl, I mean, not that I was very old at the time either, wandering into the negotiations looking lost and scared, trying to get some sense of like what's happening here. And I was like, hey, come over here, like you're one of us, let's talk about this and talk about why other young people are here, and actually you're not alone. There's actually a 1,000 young people who are at this negotiation who care about the same things that you do. And that was the moment when we connected literally 10 years ago, and ever since then have just been on part of this journey. Slater's been following us and our movement, and we've been helping her to understand and navigate this whole space.
Wow. Well, congratulations, you guys. We do have one nerdy question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring it.
So in the nerd universe,
Yes.
if you had a weapon of choice or a superpower of choice to defeat the forces of evil, what would it be and why?
The Umbrella Academy?
Yes.
When she's like, I've heard a rumor, and you can just make people do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we're trying to do here, right? We're like, I
Yeah.
heard this rumor, climate change is really bad, should probably do something about it. If that's all we had to do, and just get people to take action, I would take that.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I'm going a little bit darker with this
Yeah,
answer,
I
but I know, big surprise.
Right.
I would go with the Gamja bar from Dune, which will only kill and poison animals, and use it as a way to find out who are the people who are truly worthy of leading us.
Okay. That is very dark. All right, I decided go nerdy.
Somebody's been reading their fantasy. Wow.
Well, on that note, congratulations. Thank you guys so much for the interview.
Yeah,
You're very
thank you.
welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.